Post-game as FDU defeats NJIT 67-52, alongside head coach Mike Lane, Mike Ventola with you. And coach, obviously a game of two different halves. FDU, and putting it simply, they won the first half. You guys were able to come out and really win the second half, but the result was what it was. I got to start by asking, when FDU came out to that 13-2 lead, by any chance from you and your staff, did you think that there was any sort of slowness or late, or just a little groggy, shall you say, coming out of it? Or do you think it was just FDU just executing?
Yeah, I just thought they were more ready. I think intensity is the word I've been using. It's like they just were more intense. They were ready to play. I mean, we've had good starts.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like this has been an issue. So I just thought we were taken aback by their energy and by their pressure. And that really bothered us, and we got on our heels, and we just couldn't regroup. We have an older group, so I tried, again, I want them to learn that on their own sometimes. I didn't want it to get to 13-2, and certainly didn't want them to get 44 points in that first half, but unfortunately, we needed halftime to regroup. We have to learn to regroup on the fly, on the floor. It would have been nice if we just got we didn't have many good possessions offensively. Right. Just we looked flustered, and that was a surprise for sure. I don't think it was grogginess. I think it's just they punched us in the mouth.
Oh, wow.
And punched us in the chin, and we were hobbling, and we stood up on the ropes.
Yeah,
and
you did.
Got back in, but we just allowed ourselves to get hit in the face.
No, you guys certainly were able to, and I know the first half, some of the numbers, were a little challenging. Obviously,
yeah.
They were able to hit those 3-point shots. The field goal percentage was favoring FDU, but whatever you said at halftime, obviously turned your team on because you were able to outscore them in the third quarter, 20-9. Even though you weren't able to really hit too many, you only hit one 3-point shot throughout the entire game, but really attacked the rim well. The points in the paint were very much in favor of your squad. Not even turning the basketball over. They, FDU turned the ball over more times at the end of the day than you guys did. So from what you've seen, I know a loss is still a loss, but do you feel you can build upon what took place in the second half?
Yeah, and I think our identity is points in the paint. That's what we've been doing for a long time.
Yep.
And so it's just we didn't do that. I thought we had soft finishes in the beginning of the game. We were going for reverse layups where I thought we could have just laid it right up there and maybe got an and one, and we were avoiding contact way too much. So again, just kind of that same theme. They were tougher. We were a little passive. And then I think we were just able to get a stop. And then we got it down low, and Trin settled us down.
Oh, yeah.
And that post play can settle us down. We got confidence from that. And, Aria hit some of her mid-range jump shots, and that settled us down. We saw the ball go through the hoop, which it really did not do in the first half. And so that was really a challenge to them to play NJIT basketball, to show some pride. We just, kind of had to throw out that first 20 minutes, unfortunately. And, so I'm really proud of how the girls responded, but you can't. The only reason we responded is because we got our butts kicked for 20 minutes, and that's a hard one to kind of wipe away.
I mean, you knew for FD, obviously Chloe Wilson's been superb. Sierra D'Angelo has obviously been a nice complimentary player for her. So I'm sure what they were able to do, of course, was very impressive. Celia Carbonell with 10 points, able to hit, three-pointers there, but. You look at what they were able to do, those key players in that point. Your key players today, Trinity Williams obviously stepped up. Alejandra Thaniga is really growing in our eyes right now. But it was a little bit of a tough day at the office for Lizzie and even for Kenneth in some aspects. So what do you say to your other players when, to obviously if Kenneth and Lizzie are struggling, obviously some of them are stepping up, but you expect a little bit more from some of your other players at some point.
Yeah, and that's a game. We went to a lot of people in the first half because there wasn't a lot of answers. And there was not answers kind of personnel-wise. We were trying to find an answer scheme-wise. We changed the zone, which we don't play a lot, and that was a coaching mistake, because then they just killed us, and we trying to generate some penetration offensively to get to the paint. There's days where, I thought Reese had really good minutes for us there. She needed those. Obviously, Trin, I thought Miti battled really hard.
Oh, yeah, she did.
And that's a tough cover. I mean, Chloe's, beast is Charles Barkley. I mean, she's like, it just backs you down. She's jumping over you. She's so athletic, so strong. So really a credit to Miti that she was able to battle with her. But we have to develop for sure more depth. We've had some double-digit scorers throughout the roster, but we got to get Reese going, which hopefully today can. We got to get Grace, looking for shots. I thought Kendall and Grace have to come off looking to shoot.
Right.
That's what they are, and I think they've like passed up some shots.
Hmm.
And that just has to be their identity. So we got a lot of growth still to go here. We got through November 4-4. Would have been a lot better 5-3.
Right.
Would have been a lot better 6-2.
Yeah.
Which these last two games are especially in state to lose. But it's still early. We're still have some youth with Trin and Reese and Alejandro, who played a lot of minutes today. That's not a lot of minutes that they saw last year.
No.
So and we are very young, and then we have kids like Lizzie and Kenna who are very old, and so we're still trying to mesh that together.
I think you have 4, maybe 5 non-conference games left before that December 29th tilt against New Hampshire. So before you guys head on the road to Norfolk State on Saturday, you just got a couple of days of practice here. I'm sure practice will be hard. It'll be busy. Obviously, I'm sure free throws will be a focus. Turnovers, I know it was 7 after the first quarter, but you guys kind of really calmed them down as the game went on. But
Yep.
any other areas of focus between now and Saturday?
Well, we got to talk about the start because 5 of those 7 were in the first 4.5 minutes. I mean, we had 5 by the first media, and that's not the first time that's happened, unfortunately. So even with some good starts, we've balanced that with some poor starts. And I just, again, I think some of that was just the punching in the face that we talked about, that we were kind of hobbling a little bit or wobbling. So we got to get better. We just got to get more confident that we can score outside of maybe how we've scored.
Right.
Trust the offense a little bit
Oh, yeah.
longer. We did actually talk about that these last 2 days. We practiced real well in that. But like I said, I think their defense just took us out of our offense, and that was disappointing. And that has to be the lesson, because you can't let New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, et cetera, do all that. And we have to have confidence in it, trust it, and work it no matter what's happening against us. And we just didn't do that until the third quarter today.
All right, Coach. Well, as always, thanks for stopping by. Best of luck down in Norfolk State, and see you guys next week when you guys return home.
All right, thanks, Mike.
All right, that's head coach Mike Lane.